You are now listening to Cyber Timebite, hosted by me, Stephen Clark. Hope you enjoy the podcast. Hey there, everybody. It's Steve, or Steven. You know who I am. This is not like episode 125. This is not what this is. This is, now I'm back here with Char from episode 124. Here's the deal. There's a lot we didn't get to in the first part because we, were talking about so many other things we never got around to have the stuff we're going to probably talk about today, in this part. So this isn't a two-part episode. This is more like, if you want to listen to this, it is here. Like, this is, if you want to listen to any of this, listen to this part after listening to the first part. So if you choose not to listen to any of this that we're about to talk about, you don't have to listen to it. It's your choice. The other part is the main episode. The part that is upload on the same day as this one that you're possibly listening to right now. So pretty much it's not a two-part episode. It's not like I'm doing a two-parter. That's not what we're doing. I'm just doing a episode of, like, we're talking more about the stuff that we didn't get to. And if you'd like to hear about it, you can listen to this too. If you don't, that's all on you. Anyway, besides that mess of a description, we are back here with Char.
Hi guys, it's great to be back for part 2. Yeah, there was a lot that we didn't get to in the part 1, so
I don't see this part 1, part 2. I see it as the main episode, and if you want to listen to this part. That's how I see it, because I don't know. I mean, it just makes sense to me, I guess.
I mean, if you're having me on for two episodes right after, like one right after the other, I feel like it could be a two-parter. But I'll try not to go back on anything we talked about the first time I was on the show or podcast.
Hey, if we circle around, that works. If we circle around, you know. Anyway, yeah, I mean, like, I forgot what we ended off with last time, but you just told me recently that you had your own freaking business, which I didn't know about.
Yeah, it's kind of like a small business, personal brand thing. I make my own, like, fan merch for, like, Homestuck things and other fandoms, just like acrylic charms, and I have buttons and stickers and stuff like that. Very, very Etsy-like, but it's not on Etsy.
Why don't you have an Etsy?
Due to personal preferences, and also I don't have, like, an actual bank account, so I can't get paid through any of those selling apps, so it's kind of like a back alley store type thing. There, DM me if you're interested in this merch, and we'll figure it out through PayPal.
Are you telling me that you're, like, freaking getting your money for the alleyways of your local town? Be like, hey, do you want to have 5 of these? Big trench coat.
Yeah, it's like, hey kid, you like Homestuck? You want to buy some Homestuck stuff? Yeah? Well, look inside my coat. And then I've just got, like, an array of, like, charms and buttons and things.
Oh my god. But you need a big account to use PayPal.
Yeah, I use PayPal. You don't need a bank account for PayPal. It's just digital money. I do have a card though that I can use to, like, use that digital money in real life. So I'm not restricted to just using it online.
I mean, I have a PayPal too, but, like, I'm still fairly new to it, so I don't know about any of that.
Well, they keep changing the format, but it's pretty simple. People send me money. If I need to, I send people money. And it can all just payment-wise.
Oh, because no one's ever gave me money yet on PayPal, but I've used PayPal as like for that one touch feature where if you're buying something online, you just are too lazy to put in your information. You just click PayPal and it does it all. And it does all that for you.
Yeah, I take advantage of that feature a lot when I'm online.
Yeah, that.
Last year I put out quite a bit of new merchandise. Mostly it was mostly all Homestuck related. But for 2021 I've got a lot more things I've got planned, and I want to branch out with that. And hopefully conventions will open back up. So I'll be able to start boothing, because this last year I had a plan to booth with a cosplayer friend of mine, who you've actually had on the show before, I noticed.
Wait, what?
Yep, Tiny Tab.
Tiny Tab? You know Tiny Tab?
Oh, everybody knows Tiny Tab. No, they're a really great cosplayer, really great person. But we were actually going to share a booth together at an anime convention that was supposed to be last year, but unfortunately due to the pandemic, the convention got shut down early. Well, it didn't even make it like to the launch day. It just kind of, we're delaying it until such and such day after the pandemic, sort of thing.
Wait. So wait, Tiny Tab's like a celebrity down there, or what? Like how like you're saying like everyone knows who Tiny Tab is?
Well, they're very popular. They're really nice. So they're able to be a lot more social than like me. I'm not very well known yet, but no, Tiny Tab is a really good friend. From a long time ago. I've known them since 2015, I think.
Man, that's kicking it way back. That's like my first couple up. That's like my second episode.
I think your third episode, actually.
My third freaking episode. Like, that is kicking it back. How did you really scroll through all of that?
Yes.
Oh my god, man.
Yes, I did.
Did you end up listening to anything that I made? I'm guessing because you scrolled.
I listened to your first episode, and I listened to the episode that featured Tiny Tab, just to like know what I was jumping into.
And what do you think?
Well, I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy it, but that was very early on in your podcast.
Yeah, that was really early in me. That was freaking when I was just starting this whole thing and I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
And that's okay. You know, when I started making merchandise, I didn't know what I was doing. I was printing stuff off onto printable vinyl and cutting it by hand, whereas my peers, my artist cohorts, they had friggin' Cricut machines and were ordering huge custom batches from manufacturers online. And for a while, I was only selling single-sided charms from a more than questionable, or less than questionable, I don't know, a not very trustworthy place. So we always start somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, like, but I mean, like, ever since then, since episode 1, now that from episode 1, from episode 134, like, that's crazy to think about already that I surpassed the 100 mark, but like, from then till now, I've done so many episodes that it's just crazy to think about that I've done this many and I talked to that many people, and half of those some of these people don't even talk to me anymore. But like, you know, it's just I'm just glad I had them on, and so now people can so other people can figure out about them and whatever.
Yeah, no, I totally feel ya. I remember back in 6th grade, my first experience with a button maker. I wanted a button maker for like the rest of that time, and I think it 10 or 11. No, it was a lot longer than that. Years later, I finally was one, and then I bought another one, and I started with buttons and then charms, and now here I am getting ready to release my first full set of enamel pins, which are crazy expensive to make. So I feel like, definitely come a long ways.
Yeah, you see, I don't have the skill set to make pins or patches or like the only thing I can make is the things I feel like I'm really good at is that I can do photography stuff sort of. People say I'm good. It's clearly got to be an accident because like every shot I've done, people say that I'm pretty good at it, but like clearly it was like right place, right time thing because I don't know. I haven't done it so many times that I've been like, okay, I've been impressed on my own by this, but like what was I saying? No, like that. And like when it comes to like t-shirts, I can make those like through like an app online. Like I have a Redbubble and I have t-shirts on my Redbubble with my
Yeah, I've never been able to get my stuff approved on Redbubble. No matter if it's like fan merch or regular like original designs, they've never approved my stuff. So I always do it myself.
How about, have you ever tried like Teespring or TeePublic or some other site?
No, just because I'm not really familiar with those ones, like as I am with Redbubble. But I think I prefer having it all done myself. That way I know it gets done right. And if there's a failure, then the only person I can blame for that failure is myself.
Yeah, because cheap plug, go buy my merchandise.
Yeah, one of the last charms I actually ordered, it's a dangling Eridan Ampora charm. I ordered the top half correctly, but the bottom half came out wrong, and I got so mad, and then I realized it was my own fault because I didn't check the settings when I was ordering them.
Are you proud of your art? I'm pretty sure you are, but like, you proud of your art?
Oh yeah, no, I'm still proud of my art, and I ended up reordering those. I ordered a bottom half to match the top half that was correct, and then I ordered a top half to match the bottom half that was incorrect, and I can sell those ones for cheaper, or like give them to friends or whatever. That way nothing's getting wasted or.
Yeah, I can just imagine you on the side of the street being like, "Hey kid, want some pin stuff?"
Well, one of my favorite things to do when I'm cosplaying at conventions is to be that cosplayer that gives out free stuff to people who like ask for a photo or compliment. And maybe at some point when conventions are back up, I'll be like handing out stickers or buttons, or even like if I make that much money at that point in time, little free acrylic charms of like whatever character I'm cosplaying. I think that'd be cool because I always remembered cosplayers that would give me stuff at conventions, and I always thought that's so neat, and I always hold that dear because like this random person gave me this item for free for no reason. Like I thought that was the coolest like act of kindness, so I want to be that person.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, the last convention I went to was C2E2 2020, and that was way back in February of last year before the pandemic hit.
Yeah, the last opportunity to go to a convention would have been TaiuCon 2020, which was in January of last year, right before the pandemic.
Yes.
And we couldn't go because we didn't have enough money, time, or a way to get there.
Yeah, so like no, but the reason I bring that up is because when I go to conventions, I mean, my act of kindness I do, I guess, is that I bring cards with all my socials for my podcast on it, and I just hand it out to people that I take pictures with, or just anyone, and be like, "Hey, I do a podcast, check it out." You know?
Yeah, yeah. I used to do that. I used to walk around conventions with a skeleton with eyebrows painted on it, and I had it's not very active anymore. Um, a fairly popular Tumblr blog that was dedicated to skeleton memes way back in 2015 all the way up to 2017. Um, and I would give people like little business cards that I made, just like, oh yeah, go check it out. Your photo will be posted up here, and if you we can tag you in it, give proper credit, because they would just take photos with the skeleton because it was neat.
They seem to be a little, they seem to be a little on the, on, trying to think of a pun, but I can't think of it.
It's okay, it's okay. It got so popular that people would recognize us like at convention and be like, oh, I have you, I follow you on Tumblr. Your blog is so humorous, and then we'll go, hey, because the humorous is a bone.
like, no, no, you got everyone taking a photo with the legit funny bone. God. Oh man, that's funny. No, but I feel that here's my prediction, all right, for this year. It's year 2021, all right? So the vaccine is already on a roll. Like, it's already trucking in small doses. You know what I mean? And I feel by, what's to say, May, June, possibly July, the public will be able to get their vaccine, and possibly by late July, going into the fall, we'll get conventions again.
Oh, here's hoping for like late July, early September, because the anime convention that Chinese Have and I were going to be boothing at takes place in September. So
Well, let's just hope that my prediction's right, and that's how it rolls. Let's just hope. I mean, C2E2 this year got moved from this time of year all the way to December of this year.
do you think it's still going to happen in December, or do you think that it's going to get pushed again?
If my prediction isn't right, it's going to be pushed again. I fully believe that. If my prediction doesn't come true, then that's what's going to happen. Same with Anime Midwest. Same with Con Elite. We're going to have another year that's conless if my prediction doesn't become right. I believe.
Yeah, actually, I did put a hold on cosplaying during the pandemic because there were no conventions or anything, and you don't want to go to meetups. So I haven't made any cosplay items except for like when I get commissioned to make cosplay horns, and that's about it.
Speaking of cosplay and conventions, do you watch like those YouTube cosplay groups?
Like when they go around conventions in character, or
like DKI, for example.
no, I don't.
Like you don't watch those?
Mm-mm, no. I used to be big into cosplay like media, back in like 2016, but also back in 2016 I was quite the con drama starter. So after I kind of grew out of causing drama, I grew out of watching cosplayers run around conventions and stuff in cosplay.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I to be fair, I only have done one cosplay so far, and that's my OC. My OC needs a lot of work. I mean, like, I had everything planned out for him. I had a story, I had everything, but then I was like, okay, this doesn't make any sense, and so now I'm back at square one. But
Yeah, I used to plan to cosplay my characters, most of my fan trolls, I really wanted to cosplay or have someone cosplay them with me. Back about 3 years ago, when Tide Pods were the meme, I designed a Tide Pod themed fan troll. His name is Tidpod, and he's a good boy. No, he's a bad boy. And he's kind of got like a scene aesthetic. And then early last year, back when the pandemic was a joke, because everyone was like, oh, haha, coronavirus, haha. I designed a COVID-19 themed fan troll to be kind of essentially Moirails with my Tide Pod fan troll, and his name is Corona.
Hey, two things two things that shouldn't be taken lightly.
Right, Tide Pods and COVID-19. And I actually, if it's not in poor taste, when conventions open back up, I will probably still try to cosplay either one of those trolls as a joke, because the character design for them is so like detailed that I wouldn't mind seeing how it looks like in real life. Yeah,
well, I mean, I don't know that I think that's kind of risking it, especially the first since after the pandemic will be over, it would be the return of everyone to a convention, not just one person. The return of everyone, and freaking Tide Pods, how that went, and the coronavirus literally getting out of it. I don't think making fan trolls of that and even wearing them to a convention right after we went through this horrible year and a half of pandemic is gonna, be in taste.
No, it's not gonna be in taste to wear to a convention, but I still wouldn't mind cosplaying it, like bringing it to real life, like because one of the coronavirus fan troll, he's got bright, obnoxious orange like trip pants, but they have the zippers so they can turn into shorts, and like platform Converse. And I wouldn't mind seeing how those look in real life. I think like just the outfit design and the character, and of course he wears a face mask and gloves, so it's not like it's like making fun of it essentially, but he's the embodiment of it. Kind of like a social outcast. Like, he's got a whole backstory.
After this pandemic is over, I'm never wearing a mask again.
I remember the last two years, so 2019, at an anime convention, I bought one of those kawaii face masks to wear with my cosplay because I didn't like the way my face looked. And I wore it one time. My glasses fogged up. I did not enjoy how it felt having my face covered, and I put it in a box of miscellaneous props and accessories. And then early last year, they were like, oh, we're gonna have everyone wear face masks, and I had to go like digging for it because it was like the one face mask I had, and I hate it and I don't wear it, but I still have it.
No, because here's the funny thing, right? So I went to Daisho Con for my very first time 2 years ago now, in 2019, because now that's 2 years ago now. So yeah, in 2019 I went to Daisho Con, and that's before the pandemic hit, so it's like I didn't expect the pandemic to hit anyway. But I bought a mask there where when you put it on, when you turn it on, you put it on whenever you talk or there's music playing. The lights blink or flicker or whatever, like the mask lights up every time you talk and every time there's music playing. So
yeah, like it's a sound reactive. That's what it is.
Yeah, I bought one of those because it looks really cool, right? And I thought I would wear it and I was gonna love it. But then the pandemic hit and I had to wear a mask all the freaking time, and now I just don't want to wear a mask anymore.
I might still wear a mask because I do like having the bottom of my face covered, and I'm glad that I'm like more used to wearing a mask now. So I might still keep wearing masks after the pandemic is over. This is a personal preference.
Well, I mean, like after the pandemic's over, I'm not the only way I wear a mask. Like the only way I wear a mask after this pandemic is if it's in taste of cosplay. Other than that, not wearing that thing anymore.
I don't know. Well, nowadays I feel like you go outside and you're not wearing a mask, because you're not inside, you're not in a building, you're not surrounded by people. And I feel like my face is naked, like, oh, I should really be wearing a mask. And it's going to take a while to transition back into, you don't have to wear a mask. Don't worry about it. It'll feel weird until you get used to it.
Are you doing a show?
Yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, what should we call it? But yeah, I understand that about going outside and you're feeling naked because you're not wearing the mask and all that stuff. But still, I mean,
yeah, I'm not saying it's pleasant. I'm just saying that like it's gonna be weird going back to what was normal and having it not be normal anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like the convention scene these days. Not the I can't say these days because we haven't had one since
2019.
Yeah, early 2019. So I can't say the convention scene now compared to then, but the convention scene then, I can say. I mean, it was fine. I mean, there was nothing really going on with it, but like that's gonna probably change a whole lot after the pandemic's over and everyone's allowed to go back, and that's gonna be something. Like it's, the whole thing is gonna change.
Well, I mean, there were still quite a few people wearing face masks to conventions.
Well, I'm not talking about the masks, just the whole con scene in general. like
not being able to be crowded like shoulder to shoulder in the vendor hall.
Yeah, probably that. The lack of ramen, which I would be fine with because I don't like ramen anyway. And
you won't be able to like eat food conveniently wherever because you need one hand to hold your mask up and the other hand to hold your food.
No, I mean, I don't know. The con suite at Con Out the Lee and Anime Midwest this year, if they do happen, are going to be drastically different. I know for a fact there won't be a line lining up in the con suite for that ramen because why the heck would you do that?
Right. I remember one year at Phoenix Comic Con, right after I think the third season of Rick and Morty came out, they were doing a screening in the hotel that was right next to the convention, and you would get like free pancake breakfast while you sit and watch Rick and Morty. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you guys have the con suite at any of your conventions, or is that just a thing around here?
A thing around where you are. Is the con suite kind of like a lounge, or is it more like an otaku closet, like a swap meet?
This con suite is, so basically, there's this place called the Hyatt Regency O'Hare, which is in this town called Rosemont, next door to the convention center, and it's like literally like next to the convention center. They're like butting heads almost.
Yeah, we've got a Hyatt right next to our Phoenix Convention Center as well. So
yeah, when you go there, they have when you go up to the second level, there's a doorway that goes into a giant room with a giant skylight in it, and it's a big round room with a staircase in the middle, and there's a bunch of tables and people just sit and eat there and talk there, and then there's a line, and then they have a section part off behind doors that people line up and go through the line, and people can get like ramen. At one part of the day, there were some shows, like you know.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that where it was food, but we at Saboten Con we have this like anime swap meet type thing called the Otaku Closet. Where instead of, you're talking about where people can line up and get food, people line up to buy anime goods like used or secondhand for very, very cheap from other cosplayers or other attendees. And that's kind of what I'm thinking of when you think about the
con suite.
suite. Yeah, the con suite or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, no, the con suite, I mean, it's nice. You know, I'm hardly, when I'm at convention, I'm hardly in there anyway. Because there's nothing to do in there unless I have a bunch of friends with me and we just want to sit and talk. But that's it.
Right before, for Phoenix Comic Con, I think 2016, like 2011 to 2016, our Phoenix Convention Center in Arizona had kind of like a partnership with the Hyatt Hotel right next to it. And if you would cross the street from the convention center to the hotel would actually host like a game room. It was where it would have like tabletop games, board games, card games. And then of course there would be people like lounging, sitting, and they decorate and stuff for the convention as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but does your conventions have been the hotel just as much as the convention center, or is everything in the convention center?
It was a lot. Like the hotel would be just as crowded as the convention center would be. The reason I say 2017 and before is because was it 2017 or 2016? Where that guy tried to kill the Green Ranger. Oh, well, we had an incident where a guy came in with a bunch of assault weapons dressed as the Punisher, and he came in trying to, he was gonna attempt to shoot Jason David Frank, who was the actor for the Green Ranger in the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger series.
Mm-hmm. I think I heard about this.
Yeah. And, right after that, like that day and then the day after that during the convention, they got rid of several weapons booths. They upped the security like tenfold, and then the year after that, they stopped hosting at the Hyatt. Like the Phoenix Comic Con stopped doing anything with any outside buildings at all.
Because whatchamacallit, at Anime Midwest, that one takes place in the convention center and the hotel. So there's stuff that happens in the hotel and the convention center. But on the flip side, Count Delete, which is owned by the same person, takes place only in the hotel and not the convention center. So I mean, like,
Sabotage Con takes place only in a hotel. It takes place in the Sheraton Hotel, which is nice because then you get like 5 days where you don't leave a building unless you're going to get food, but even though they sell food in the hotel.
Now, you see, the problem with me isn't the food, which is nice, but my problem isn't the food. My problem is just like, this is a con. We're all supposed to be together. So it's either one or the other. Come on. It's either just happening in the hotel or happens in the convention center. If it happens at both, then I understand that it winds up the audience, but, like, come on, man. Can't we just all, like, be together in this one convention center and just do our things in this one building?
Well, the problem with that is multiple reasons. Like, with Phoenix Comic Con, that's one of our, I think that's our largest convention in Arizona. The convention center is 3 separate buildings, and the convention still got too big for those 3 buildings. So they would host with the Sheraton, the Hyatt, and the Renaissance hotels that were around in downtown Phoenix. Because I remember in 2012 at one of my first conventions, it was like 11 at night. We went up a broken escalator in the Renaissance Hotel after the convention center closed for the night. And we went and we watched a Holocene concert in like an abandoned room on a random floor in the Renaissance Hotel.
That's
crazy.
Like
Yeah, it's like a random experiences that don't actually happen in the convention center. That sometimes ends up making your whole con worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been going to conventions since 2015, so I mean, like, it's I mean, like, my first convention I never went back to since because because it just ended up being lame and not even worth it to go anymore. Um, by the way, it was a Wizard World, the Chicago one.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. After going to conventions for many years, I was starting to feel like that, where it was getting kind of boring. Where you've done everything, you've seen everything, you know practically all the vendors at this point.
But
Um,
no, it's not.
but I feel like after a year of not going to conventions, I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully at the next convention re-experiencing all the things that I was bored with. Like, you don't know what you have until it's gone.
Yeah, but no, when it came to Wizard World, it wasn't that I knew everyone. I was just bored of going there. It's just like Wizard World just flat out just sucked. Let's just be honest, it just sucked. And it was and I mean, not to say I didn't have a great time. I did. It was my first convention ever. I had a blast, but like, it wasn't good enough for me to go back next year. And,
Ooh,
and so like, after I went to that one, that's when I started going. That's when I went to my very first Anime Midwest the next year after that, which led to me going to C2E2, which led me to go to Con of Delete, and then which led me to go to the Chicago Pop Culture Con, and then this is where we stand now in the convention and C2E2 and all that stuff. And this is where we stand on my convention list that I go to every year.
yeah. I used to go to almost every single convention in Arizona except for the ones that took place in Tucson and Flagstaff, just because that was too far. And I used to live right in downtown Phoenix, and I would staff for the majority of the convention, so I'd be able to get a free ticket already, and all I would need to do is find money for like hotel, transport, and merchandise, which made it even more convenient at the time to just like hop on the train and get down there for the weekend, and then just like bunk with some other people.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, like, it's just like I can't. I mean, the sad part is that that in the case of the Chicago Pop Culture Con, the venue that I usually have is shut down, and so not because I think it's partially because of COVID, because of COVID and because of the venue shutting down. Now they gotta find a new place. I don't know where the heck they're gonna do it this year, if that even happens this year.
Yeah, and that's a big problem with a lot of conventions, because sometimes they even get shut down because the venue ends up being too small because of the attendee turnout in the end. Like if the event gets way too big to host, which is probably why Phoenix Comic Con originally took place in Mesa, and then they moved to the Phoenix Convention Center back in the day because it just got so large, and then they took over all three buildings, and then they took over the three nearby hotels, just because it got to be that size. So maybe it'll shut down, and because they're trying to figure out a bigger location to move to.
Yeah, because the venue was a whole. It was basically the place it was at was called the Pheasant Run, and next to the Pheasant Run they have a place called the Mega Center, which was basically a convention hall that was disconnected from the actual hotel. And since the Pheasant Run closed down, the Mega Center closed down with it. So that means that they can. It wasn't that it got so big that they couldn't hold it there anymore. It's just that the hotel shut down, so now they need to find a new venue. But
like the hotel actually like closed.
If you go there now, it's all fenced. Like, the whole perimeter is fenced off. You can't even like go. You can go up to the building, but you can't like. But there's just a fence, so you can't even like get to the building.
Well, then I don't know what to tell you. You might be SOL for a venue there. They'll probably just relocate to another hotel though, honestly.
Yeah, right. I'm predicting they're gonna just go across the street to the other hotel that's way smaller, but the pop culture con's small anyway. So I mean,
Yeah, that'll probably be a possibility for you guys.
yeah. Needless though, I mean, like it's just I don't know. I mean, everything's been crazy. Year's been crazy and all that stuff, and you know, not much is really has gone on in the convention scene. Cause if there was a chart, all right, the graph, the amount of cosplay that has been done in the year 2020, per after the month of February, even March. I'm pretty sure that if there was a graph in front of us right now, that number would be pretty low right now.
I don't know. I keep up on like TikTok and stuff, and I feel like it might be higher, but the debut of cosplays would be lower because there's a lot of people cosplaying right now in their own homes and like doing like private photo shoots and stuff. Not with conventions or anything or events. They're just doing it. And I think it's just because people are restless. So I actually think if there was a graph in front of us, the number would be higher for cosplays done in 2020, but the number would be lower for cosplays debuted at conventions, just because there's a lack of conventions.
Yeah, but wait, private photo shoots? Like, I'm talking about conventions, not that. No, again, I'm playing.
Well, I know, but like,
I'm playing around. I'm playing
on the internet. Just because people are restless, they're doing more stuff. They're like, oh, well, now I've got time because I got furloughed from my job to make all these props I didn't have time for, make all these cosplays, and with the technology we've got, everything's crisper and cleaner and faster. So people, yeah, they're not cosplaying at conventions yet, but hopefully when conventions start to open up, or like internationally, there are conventions going on now. Internationally, I know some of my friends, I want to say it's in New Zealand. They've got conventions going on, and I'm extremely jealous of them.
the only in-person convention I heard of that has happened in the past year, that's outside the States, is Armageddon Con, which is I don't know what country that's in, but it's called Armageddon Con. That's the name of it.
Yeah, I think that's the one I'm talking about, but I'm still extremely jealous that they've gotten to the point where they not only are they having in-person conventions, but at the photos I've seen, there is a severe lack of masks, and their need for masks seems extremely low, which I really wish United States people could also get figured that out, that the more we wear the mask, the less there might be a need for it, because the less of the spread of the virus.
Yeah, because over on the other side of the pond, everyone's playing the curve because they were on it when it hit.
Yeah, they were on it. They took it seriously. Unfortunately, Americans aren't that bright. So, no offense to any Americans listening to this, but if you have a relative or a friend that just refuses to wear that mask in public or whatever, I'm gonna say it. I blame them for the curve not flattening. They're like one in 100,000 or whatever because of it.
1 in 100,000? What?
I don't know. One in a very large number of people that aren't helping us get rid of this virus.
Well, I don't think it's thousands, but it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's too many.
Oh my god. Well, I think that almost 45 minutes is enough to get out everything that we were talking about. Am I right? I mean, we talked about.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think we covered quite a bit. You know, we actually talked about conventions and cosplay more.
And I think we've covered everything in the other one where we were talking about the. We talked about about what you do for a living, all that in the last episode and everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about my personal work.
No, that's fine. But yeah, let's bring it on home. Thank you everyone for listening to this part that you let me reword that. Thank you everyone for listening to this part of the episode that you can listen to if you want to. I guess part 2 if you want to call it a part 2 of episode 134. If you listened to this, thank you. If you didn't, well, I mean, that's up to you. I'll plug myself again, as you can find me on Twitter at NostalgiaVamp. Follow me on Facebook at Timebite. Buy all my merchandise at redbubble.com under Crash Steven Gear. And also follow my other podcast I do in the Service Pit with Service Breakdown right now, as we are deep in 20. We're 20 plus deep episodes. So make sure to go listen to all of those because they are amazing, and we have a lot more stored for you. Hopefully you guys enjoy. How about you? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at TechnoCat8, on Tumblr at TechnoCat8, or on Twitter at Cramdander. That's about it. I think I do have some stuff on Depop at Cram Creates, but it's not much.
How you not followed me at this point? Look, how you not following me at this point? No, this is a legit question.
Oh. Well, I don't know. I get busy and I have a bad memory.
Hashtag memory folds. Alright, anyway. I want to thank all of you for watching or listening, depending on what platform you're on. That being Anchor or Spreaker or YouTube or whatever the heck. I want to thank you all for listening in, and I hope all of you have a fantastic day or night or afternoon or whatever. See ya.